What's up, guys? It's Coop with Coop RC, and today we are going to be talking about the new Sea Snake chassis. Super excited about this one. Been working on it for well over a year. Tons of prototype hours, tons of all kinds of testing. Had quite a bit of help from many of you. Biggest shout out goes to Alexis of CL Designs, who actually was able to help me in designing and acquiring carrier bearings for this chassis. Just cannot thank him enough. This chassis wouldn't be what it is without his help. So go check out his stuff. He's got awesome products for micros, for tent scales, even got the UTB 18 chassis. So if you haven't been on his website, definitely go check it out. That's CL Designs, and you won't be disappointed. Super high quality stuff. Anyways, moving forward, the Sea Snake is SCX 24 based. Not supposed to work with anything else. I know I do get a lot of questions on, will this work with the TRX 4M? Will this work with the FMS rigs? Will it work with, this or that? This one is strictly SCX 24. Pretty much like everything else we've been doing. I do have plans to look into some of those other platforms in the future, but for now, sticking with Axial. With that being said, let's take a look at this chassis. Okay guys, let's get started. First things first, got the rails. We'll just start with everything that comes with the chassis. Obviously, you get your 2 rails. This is aluminum. Talk more about that, I guess, as we go through these parts. But I do have a bit of a style that I guess I go with, more of that snaky or eely look that you expect from Coop RC. Sticking with that here. Something that I think has not necessarily been done, or if it has, hasn't been done a lot, is a more rounded belly. Most of the time, you're seeing that really hard cut angle on the skid, and it's a flat skid. Well, this one, it's not technically going to be a flat skid. It is rounded out. So let's see, you can see it from here. The skid that is included, it's rounded. What I found was, whenever I was using a flat skid, it just leaves a big hang up spot towards the front because of how the link was meeting up to it, and it was catching right there on a lot of stuff. This one I can show you right here. You can see what I was going for here is to be able to go smooth like that. No hang up. These links are something that I'm having made. Unfortunately, the first set that I had done, the hole size was off, and it just made the link ball a little bit loose, and so I wasn't happy with that. Didn't want to sell you guys an inferior version of it. So reworking those, and they will be available on the Etsy store before too long. With that being said, 828 RC Steve both have one of these on the way currently, and if whichever one of those guys you typically go to for your links, they're gonna have one. They can get you hooked up. They can do different wheelbases than this. This one is 146 millimeters. A lot of people ask, like, what do you recommend? Honestly, man, I try to make these things work with whatever wheelbase you want to do. With that being said, this one is a little different, as I don't really necessarily know that you could make a C10, like a true C10 JL wheelbase, work on this because of the carrier bearing, needing that third drive shaft, you probably could throw a really short one right here in the rear, but that angle is going to be just really, really harsh. I wouldn't recommend that. Outside of that, any of this stuff is going to work. So this one here, it has basically a deadbolt front with a gladiator rear. And what I did with the drive shafts in order to achieve that is a deadbolt front, and then a JL front. That is what got me to this length. By all means, you could put whatever two sizes you want here. You could, if you got different lengths for it, you could put whatever sizes up here as well. You could make this thing who knows how long. It'll be interesting to see what all you guys do with it. I'm super, super excited for that. Moving forward, pretty typical, keeping the 10 by 5 by 3 magnets that you were familiar with on the eel. Just I like those. I like the rectangles. Keeping the same where these two are going to be parallel to each other and this one running perpendicular. I felt that it just kind of having those contradicting forces there, it helps hold that body on there a little bit better. Nothing much to explain there. You guys know how magnet mounts work. Okay, we talked about the skid. So the sliders, really like these, the way these turned out. I actually went through more versions of this than any other part on this chassis, just trying to find something that I was happy with. They're really thin. They are not going to be as complicated as some of the other chassis with the ELV1, ELV2 having the 2-piece or the 1-piece sliders that you couldn't see the mounting holes and everything. On this one, you know, I sat back and looked at it, and it's just one of those things that I don't feel like I was hanging up on enough to justify continuing to do that. I think that this will make it easier for people to build as well. So I hope you guys like these. Now, something that I am doing different with this is your standard set of sliders. It will also be included, no extra charge, this set. Now, some people may just say, like, these look cooler, you can run either, it doesn't really matter. What I did these for, and I actually have them installed on here, but not for the reason that I made them, is in case you had an outboard mounted upper rear link. I do not have that on this one. Maybe whenever I get some links from some of the guys, it will be an outboard and we'll be able to take a look at that. But that's what this is. It's just pre-cut so that you don't have to sit there and Dremel out this version here. And that, like I said, that is included. No extra charge. You'll be ready for whatever link setup you want to go with. Let's see. And those are pretty self-explanatory. They mount like any other slider out there. Alright, so probably the part that everyone wanted to see more than anything, this is the carrier bearing. Super neat. Oh, let me flip it the right way. Got Coop on there, CL Designs logo. Shout out Alexis again, super awesome company. Love this design on here. Very similar to what you'll see on his Gladius chassis. I actually have a ESC strapped to mine right now. Shout out VTech, Escape 32, best in the game. Like I said earlier, I'm running deadbolt front, JLU front to get to this wheelbase. Like you can do whatever. This will actually mount in any of these holes back here. So like I said, if you want to make this thing as long as possible, go for it. Been playing around with some ideas of maybe having something that you can add onto the back if you wanted to go crazy long with it. We'll see. That may be an add-on in the future. So just be on the lookout. With that being said, there's really not a whole lot that I feel like needs explaining, like some of the other chassis I've had where you had to get a little more in depth with the slider situations and stuff. I guess I can go over this rig some. Love the Mofo Servo Beast, definitely my go-to. Just haven't had one go bad, and crazy, it'll shake you wherever you want it to move. What else we got on here? So, oh yeah, first one of these that I've had, 3Flow 9 RC. Shout out to them. The roller bearing steering link. This thing is actually really cool. You know, I was a little bit skeptical about it. I was like, I don't know, maybe it'll just pin and it won't. No, this thing rolls like crazy. Super, super cool. Personally, I prefer this one over the one that's all the bearings across the front. Not hating on that one, it's personal preference. I like that this keeps it a little more scale looking. Not that I build super scale stuff, but I don't know, just being picky there. Either one of them is good. Super cool that they were able to come out with something like that. Also, since we're talking about them, I have the hind flow skid from them for the Super 8s. Works out super, super nice, keeping that drive shaft protected right there and not hanging up on this bulky rear Super 8 housing. We've got on this one, we're doing the Team Fedco shocks. I have been going back and forth, changing my shock position all around on this thing. I personally have just really enjoyed having them back here. You do lose some of your flex. We all know that too much articulation is a bad thing anyway. I may bump them back forward a little bit from here, but having it pressing that rear up and pushing down in the front is just really, really, really good on the uphill stuff. So something to keep in mind when you're building. But yeah, guys, if there's anything else that you have any questions about, hit me in the comments, DM me, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Etsy. Super excited to see what you guys think, so let me know. Y'all have a good one.